Hello, guys, and welcome back. I am Raseclight, and this is Corpse Party, Book of Shadows. So, last time we were playing with Miss Yui, and she's younger, being a student, forgot her lock pencil, um, and now she's questioning if she should wait and just practice being behind the podium like a teacher. That you don't actually need to do that right now, or go. Hello, Shaylee. So, what is the wrong end? Probably. By the way, I looked for the list of endings for the previous chapter to see which endings I missed, and they are annoying. Basically, I need to do same things. It's two same endings, but involves me not getting a couple items, so something else proceeds. But since that chapter is too long, fuck that. So we'll continue. And we'll see how many endings I can get. Normal way. So, since the ghost is supposed to be here at this hour, I'm guessing that standing at the teacher's podium is going to be the wrong ending. So, let's try. If
よし、
not, I can reload.
少しだけ先生の気分
How
を
can
味わ
I
ってね。
pass this up? It's a chance uh, to feel like a real teacher. Yeah, sure. Why not? I decided I had to try it. During daily cleanup and such, I come and gone from this spot countless times. Yes, but this was the first time I've ever had an opportunity to just stand here and preside over the classroom. That's why you become representative, so you can do that.
そうか。
So
先生からはこんな風に
this
見
is
えるん
how
だ。
it looks
教室って
to a teacher, huh? Most
なんか
annoying.
ちょっとドキド
It's
キす
kind
る。
of inspiring. Gaining a teacher's point of view, in the most literal sense, was trying to get me really fired up. Excuse me. Ow. That was a sneeze. Oh my god, it hurt. Oh, it may seem silly now, but this was my stage. This was where all my dreams will play out.
私もいつか
Someday, maybe, I began to imagine the future that awaited me. Painstakingly detailing some new piece of knowledge for students sitting attentively at their desks. Oh, girl, you're dreaming way too far. I'm gonna have the perfect class and the perfect student. That doesn't happen. It doesn't exist. It's still fun, but it doesn't exist. Gliding chalk across the board. We don't use chalk. We use markers. We use chalk across the board, filling it with information to aid them in their studies.
いつか先
I
生に
sure
なれるといい
I
な。
can make the cut one of these days. I was getting so excited that even I began to think my behavior was a little strange. Yes, maybe it was the juxtaposition of this joyous, freeing vision and the prickling dread I'd been feeling up until just a minute or two before. You're gonna feel way more stuff in a little bit. But then, in the blink of an eye, one of these two conflicting emotions completely overpowered the other. That one? Thank you. Eh? Crap!
で
It's a blackout? No, it's a fucking ghost. It's the power of ghost. Uh, uh. Do you have the nerves? Do you have the triforce? Suddenly, my surroundings were bathed in darkness. Oh, have you ever had a kiss in the dark with the lights on? I'll let you marinate that thought. Go step with shock. With shock, I stumbled back a step. My back struck the blackboard with a dull thud.
いきなり何？
What awful timing! I instinctively grabbed hold of the rail where the eraser sat. I felt chalk dust against my fingertips. My panic heartbeat was making it difficult to breathe. Was this caused by the thunderstorm? A storm? If so, it sure picked a fine time to turn the lights out on me. Yes.
しかも
And
俺が
what's
ノー
more,
ト
I can still
また
hear
響
the
いて
sound of the organ.
嘘なん
But
で
no,
停電に
it's
なっ
an
てるなら
it's an
なんでって
electric
鳴らない
organ.
はずなのに
How is it even possible with no power? Batteries? There's a lot of electric organs with that use batteries too.
行く
You must not go. Like, was this the old woman? Was this what the old woman was trying to warn me about? That's impossible. She was no fortune teller or psychic, as far as I was aware. How could she possibly have known this would happen? She's you. Hell, even if she were a fortune teller or a psychic, predicting the future is the stuff of science fiction. I shook my head. Depending. It's not it's not foretelling, more like uh, pattern telling, because people follow a certain pattern and that takes them to a particular place. And if they change that pattern, it's going to take them to a different place, obviously. I shook my head. My head.
落ち着くのよ
I need to calm down.
音
Maybe
楽室の方
it's
はま
just
だ
this
停電
wing
にな
that
って
lost
ないとか
power,
きっ
and
と
the
そんな
music
理由だ
room is
よ
still okay. That seems plausible, alright, right? Yes, very plausible. That just a half of the building lost this power because um, they have different um, power surges, power boxes, however it's called. I don't care. I, cur- I curled my chalk dust fingers into a fist and silently tried to fist myself. Tried to talk some sense into myself.
ともかく早く校舎を出よ
I got to get out of here. I should have been playing. I shouldn't have been playing teacher. I should have been in and out by now. Cursing myself a little, I fumbled my way through the darkened classroom. Ack! I spent so much time in here. You think I'll be able to find my way out of it with my eyes closed? Yes, as it were. But sadly, that wasn't the case. Smashing loudly into a desk, I knocked. I knocked on its side and began tumbling after it, instinctively grabbing at other desks around me for support.
ういっ
Oof!
とい
Damn
け
it!
ない机の
Sounds like
中
I
身まき散ら
knocked
しちゃっ
a
た
lot of stuff out of that desk.
元に戻さなくちゃ
Guess I'll need to put everything back. You can just leave. Still fumbling around blindly, I gather up all the scattered notes, textbooks, and writing utensils. Someone didn't take his homework.
でも暗くて何
I
がなんだか
can't tell what's
もう
was
何
what.
やってるの
This
よ
is
急
so
いでるのに
embarrassing. What the heck am I
何年
doing
なんだか
anyway? Wasn't I supposed to be hurrying home? I'm such a klutz. That's not klutz. That's stupidity. Also, it doesn't even it doesn't matter how dark the school is. There's huge ass windows. And are you gonna tell me that the moon doesn't light a little? Or there's not even that tiny moon. My wife is putting tape on the cat's feet. Well, the cat actually earned it because She was playing with the tape. Luna, duck and roll. Okay, I let out a sigh. I seem to be doing that a lot lately.
と、
Sighing?
これは教科書。
Okay,
と、
this is a textbook and
ノー
this
トで
is a
しょ。
notebook, right? Do you care? I was trying to take inventory of all the things I knocked out of the desk. How can you pick them up if you cannot see? You're supposed to stumble because you couldn't see. And now you're trying to tell me that you're identifying what's a textbook and what's a book. How can you even know where they are? I mean, I can because of sound, but she's not me, obviously. I knocked out the test, then realized why. Then realized why. I might as well just stand it up and stuff it all back in. Thank you.
さすがに全部を間違
I couldn't
いの
possibly
通りに
organize
戻
it
すなん
properly
て
in
な。
absolute darkness.
明日ここの先
Even
生に
more
謝らなく
picking
ちゃ。
picking it up, picking everything up. But just to apologize tomorrow to whoever sits here. Not that that was a particularly pleasant prospect. It's better than what's happening. Explaining what I'd done wouldn't be easy, and no matter how I sugarcoated it, it will serve as a clear indication of my clumsiness. So, if I didn't say anything, it's not like I'd be found out. But that will be the same as lying as far as I'm concerned. Fuck that! And I couldn't do that. Oh, why not?
と、これで最後かな。
Okay, I think I got everything. I placed my hand against the floor and swept it around, feeling for anything I might have missed. You're still missing time, girl. And I found something, alright?
やだ、
A razor blade.
何これ。
Ew, gross.
なんだか
What is
ぬ
this?
るぬるして。
It's all slimy. Mm. Someone, someone, you dropped the bathwater of someone. I clearly brushed my fingers across something, but I had no idea what. It was no notebook or writing implement, really. Though that's for sure.
机の中からなんで
Why would
ふにゃふにしたも
anybody
のが。
have something like this? I'm seeing a very particular scene. My dog is on his bed and the cat is just coming over. She went. Bye. Alright. Why would anyone have something like this in their desk? Luck? Maybe it had been on the floor all
な
along.
んだろう
You?
これ。
What is this stuff? Smell it. I rub my sticky fingertips a bit deeper into the wet spot. The wet spot. Then brought my hand up close to my face so I could get a better look at what was there. What on earth did I just touch? Your conscience? There was a flash of lightning, almost immediately joined by a roaring thunderclap. Thunderclap? And with it, for a split second, the pitch black classroom was lit up bright as day. I'm not very good at making ambience, right, with my comments and such. They're supposed to be scary, and I'm just making jokes. Sorry. Oh, fuck.
ち
God, is that blood? No! It's just red chalk all over the place. I shoot to my feet, utterly mortified. In that split second, I got a very good look at my fingers, and it really did seem as if they were covered in blood. But it wasn't just my hand, no. If my peripheral vision were to be trusted, you have peripheral vision. How can you be clumsy and have peripheral vision? It looked like the entire classroom was stained in deep dark crimson.
そういえば
Crap,
なんとなく
it
思
kinda
い出せる
smells like
気が
blood
す
in
る。
here, too. Do you know the smell of blood? Do you? Without thinking, I back away from where I'd been crouching. I tried rationalizing what I saw. How could a whole classroom become a bloodbath like this? Ooh, there's a lot of sad news about that. Did something spill? Did someone stumble in here injured?
ありえない。
This
そ
is
んなの。
impossible. It can't
何よ
be.
こ
I
れ。
mean, how? My whole body was quaking. I fled from the classroom. Or rather, I tried to flee.
開かない。や
What?
だ。
Why, why won't it open? No, please, no!
鍵なんてかかってなかったのに。
I don't remember locking it.
今だっ
And
て
is it
鍵はかか
locked?
ってないよ。
So what
そ
can I
れなのに
get it
ど
open?
うして。
I pulled on the door handle again and again in frenzy. I was pulling so hard. It felt like my fingernails might tear loose. Ah. Pull with your fingers, not with your nails, please. But it just wouldn't budge.
なんで。
Why? Why? Please. I was absent-mindedly grabbing at my hair with one hand and slammed my fist on a nearby desk with the other. This was a nightmare. Please, no. What's it? What is going on? What's going on? And I say, why, why? I say, why? What's going on? Silence saturated the ink blackness of the room. I took several deep breaths in an effort to restrain my pounding heart, but I only got an hyperventilation.
とにかく一度落ち着
Down.
かないと。
I have to calm
そも
down.
そもドアが開
I'm
かないの
probably
だって
just
私がこんなにパ
panicking
ニックになってるせ
because
い
the
かも
door
しれ
won't
ないし。
open and because there's a smell of blood and I saw blood everywhere and there's blood in my fingers and I heard a story of a ghost here and I shouldn't be here and I stupidly stood around because someone selected first option.
さっきの変な塊だってきっと何かの勘
I'm
違
sure
いだ
I'm
よ。
just
だってありえないじゃない。教
misidentified.
室に
Whatever that is on the floor.
わ
I
け
mean,
のわからな
Mr.
いものが
Bushers,
落ちて
right?
るだなんて。
There's no way something like that could be. Now you're rationalizing a lot. I was certain that when when I saw what it actually was come morning, it ended up being something totally random, like someone's old soda stained gym clothes. Stained soda. Soda doesn't leave a red mark or darkish red, unless it's flavor soda.
きっとそうだよ。
That has to
そ
be,
うだ。
yeah.
指につ
Probably
いてるだっ
just
て
brushed
技
against
術に使う絵の具かもしれないじゃない。
somebody's paint for art class or something. Why would paint be fresh still? My imagination was just running wild because I was panicking. Yes,
もしかしたらドアに
and the
何
door
かが
probably
挟まってて開かない
just
だけ
has
かもしれ
something
ない。
caught in it. That's all. Like what? Also, you can break the window. Oh, right. You will have to apologize next day, and you will be punished. So, no, you're not gonna break the window, right? I decided to check out what hypothesis my that hypothesis by feeling my way across the door and determining if anything was jutting out from any of the cracks.
ダメだ。
Damn,
暗で何にも
not
見えない。
sure I can do this without being able to see. Use your fingers. Use your touch. You have 5 senses. I fumbled around the gaps in the door, but I just couldn't make anything out that would be doing this. And the classroom's rear exit seemed a world away. About feeling or seeing with your fingers is what blind people use. How blind people read. I forgot the word. Braille. Braille. Um, but you don't need to be blind to have that ability. I mean, I cheated on a lot of uh, prize toys when I was a kid. You know, those kind of little bags And I bet I'm not the only one because now they put a piece of cardboard around the toy so people cannot feel which one it is. Because I used to fill the bags to see which figurine it was so I don't get repeats. So, yes, you can actually do that.
他の出口は
Maybe there's another way out of here. No, this was the third floor. So, big bushes and jump on the bushes. I couldn't get out of this classroom without exiting into the hallway. Yes, you can. There's huge ass windows.
今すぐ外に出たいのに
Let me out. I want out. Still at a loss, I noticed a sudden flash of light through the hallway window. But the glass was only translucent, so I couldn't be sure of its source.
誰か
Is
歩いてくる
somebody out there? Then there came the distinctive clump, clump, clump of footsteps.
そうだ
Of
用務
course!
員さんだ
It means be the custodian. Yes, the custodian. Sure. If you make enough noise, you can actually uh, make notice of the custodian so he can help you. That's another thing. Also, you have a fucking cell phone. I guess. Yeah. Yeah, you should. Even if it's a block, yeah. Yeah, because the this is 5 years ago, and the other dudes already have flip phones and such. So yes, cell doesn't work because dim different dimension. Oh, I thought you meant something else. Different dimension. Yeah. All right. Point taken. Even if the phone doesn't work to call someone, you can use the light of the phone. I recall the existence of a custodian who always patrolled the school grounds and no one noticed it. That's why I recall the existence of a custodian. The legend of the custodian that roams the halls. I was sure he must have been taking a look around after the sudden power outage.
助か
Outage.
った
Great, I'm saved now. All at once, my fear-addled legs regained their strength. This nightmare will soon be over.
すみま
Excuse me? I shouted to the custodian through the window, as loudly as I could muster.
せんすみません閉じ込めら
Excuse
れてるん
me,
です
I'm trapped in here. I had to be sure he heard me. I shouted again. Finally, I could see the light out in the hallway again, and it seemed to be getting closer. A spectral light. However,
なんかこの光おかしい
something's not right about this. Yeah, the custodian is not answering. Perturbated, I took a step away from the window.
懐中電灯だったらもっと
If that's a
明るいよね
flashlight, shouldn't it be brighter?
この光は
Depending how old it is, it kind of looks like the faint, unearthly glow classically attributed to spirits. Was that was what I was thinking? I tried to stop myself from finishing the thought. However, dullness aside, it also looked like it was trying to wriggling around in a very unnatural, very unflashlight-like way.
それにこの足音
And these footsteps. Glomp, glomp, glomp. 4 clumps, then a 3 or so second interval, then another 4 clumps. Left, 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 right, left, 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 right, left. They were sounding in a fixed rhythm.
用務員さんじゃない
That's no custodian.
中に変な歩き方
Nobody walks like that. Yes, there's a couple people that do. The fear was back, in full force. I had to find somewhere to hide. What if I accidentally summoned something inhuman? How? I mean, whatever that was, I begged for help. I literally invited in.
どこか隠れるところ
I needed to
そうだ
hide. But where? The podium? The furniture on the back of the room? Oh, another choice. Um, supply locker? Yeah, supply locker. Teacher's podium? I mean, you're already there. I'm gonna have to redo this just to pick the different choices. Damn it. I hurried. I hurriedly hit myself beneath the teacher's podium. I grabbed my knees, curled up, and made myself as small as I could. You're already small.
なんなの一
What
体
is
どうなっ
this?
てる
What's happening? The footsteps continued to draw nearer and nearer. Dokito ni. Dokito ni. Ah, wait, I miss you. Clump, 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 clump. Little by little, the sound grew louder. Every hair on my body was standing on end.
のこのまま通り過ぎてください
Please,
お願い
just
しま
pass
す
by, please. I held my breath, clasped my hand together, and silently prayed. Clump, 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 clump. They were close now. Very, very close.
神様
Please, God. Why, why was this happening? I couldn't make any sense of it. I just wanted it to be over. I prayed to God, Kamisama, that it would end. Was was this what the old woman was trying to warn me about? Was this all happening because I ignored her? Because I didn't take the paper fucking doll from her? Was it because I heard the ghost story of Yoshi and allowed her to get it to me? Nah, it's mainly because you forgot your pencil and you came back and then you stood here for a while instead of just going. Or did the strange events of the day have nothing to do with what was happening to me now? Kinda.
口から心臓が飛び出
It
しちゃ
feels
いそう
like
だ
my heart is going to burst out of my chest. I was still holding my breath. Why? Just breathe slowly, very, very slowly. I didn't dare let even the tiniest of sounds, a fart, escape and give away my position. Tap, 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 tap. No clump, now it's tap. Okay. Tap, 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 tap. Oh, come on with the tapping. Tap, tap. The consistent rhythm of the footsteps suddenly ended halfway into one of its cycles. Huh? And it had ended right in front of this very classroom. Casp! If you're behind the podium, or inside the podium, or whatever, how can you see that? I had goosebumps up and down my arms and legs. I stopped praying and clasped my hands over my mouth. I knew I'd scream if I didn't. Could this be Yoshi? Was the school legend real? Bad, bad. All I could do was close my eyes, keep my mouth shut, and hope that a fart didn't came out. That whoever or whatever this was would just go away. But the footstep sound didn't start again. If this was indeed Yoshi, then she stopped in front of the classroom and was just standing there. I had no concept of time anymore. I stayed in my hiding spot for what was probably only a few minutes, but felt like at least an hour.
足音が消え
Maybe
た。
whoever it was, it's gone. I decided to carefully peek out from under the podium. I gingerly edged my head out just far enough to get a glimpse of the room, when suddenly, it's the demonic pony from Sherlock Holmes. The footsteps rang out once more. It sounded like they were headed right for me, and they might have been inside the room. I honestly couldn't tell. I scrambled back into my hiding spot and covered my mouth with both my hands. Pom, 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 pom. This was too much for me. My breathing was coarse and erratic. My face was a mess of tears and snot.
神様助けて。
Then they please save me. I mean, God, please save me. I was inconsolable. The footsteps just wouldn't stop. What on earth were they doing? It almost seemed like they were running around in circles just to scare me.
やめて。
It kind of has a nice rhythm. Stop it, please, stop it. I mouthed these words over and over again and moved my hands to my ears in a vain attempt to block out this torturous sound. And is and as if in response, the sound changed. I love it. You're just covering your mouth and suddenly you hear a different sound. It was a loud, dull thud, followed by a silence. No more footsteps. I heard that sound hundreds of times before. It was the classroom door sliding open. At least it's open now. I peeked out, but the door was still tightly shut. How can you know that it's shut if you cannot see? How could that be? If the door I heard wasn't the door, then what was it? Pan pan, pan pan, pan pan. What little safety I felt here was pretty much gone, but to be fair, I wasn't absolutely certain the spirit had seen or heard me either. The prospect of stepping out into the open wasn't a desirable one, but I had to decide if it was better to stay here where I was or to make a break for it. Make a break for it. Oh my god! Really? Another one? There's gonna be different endings depending on these three choices, right? I'm trying to get her killed, and she just won't. I want the wrong ending. Stay hidden.
隠れていよう。きっと
I'll
日
keep
々過ごせる
hiding.
よ。大丈夫。
It'll pass by for sure. It'll be okay. But it only took a moment for that decision to come back and bite me. Ugh. My body was suddenly weighed down. In an instant, without knowing what was happening, my fetally positioned form was essentially locked in place. Yay! It was like a boulder had fallen on top of me and was resting on my arched back. I twisted and shuffled myself around, trying to shake it off. Shake, shake, shake it off. Shake it off, shake it like you mean it. But the more I struggled, the heavier it became. And what's more, I felt like it was slowly inching, inching, inching its way up toward my head, as if it were planning on dropping down in front of my face. Was this a person?
誰
Oh, fuck you. Oh, I heard that on the side. Oh my god, that was horrible. Nice sound effect. Guess who? It was a female voice, reverberating ominously, as if bubbling up from the depths of hell. I screamed violently, desperate to throw her off of me.
皆さんで
Oh fuck, now it's on the other
対
side.
決をしましょう
Nice sound effects. Shall we play tag together? Oh, fuck you. I think I got the wrong ending. My vision went red, or at least it felt that way. Whoever was on my back had dug her razor sharp fingernails right into my eyes. Oh, wow. Didn't you scream not that much for someone's fingering your eye? I collapsed on the spot. The pain was instantaneous and unbearable. I could no longer hold my position. I could no longer focus on anything but this agony. My eyes, my eyes. Yeah.
悪い子には
Bad children must be punished. The pain shot through my head in waves. It was indescribable, unthinkable. I couldn't take it any longer. My consciousness faded, and I was gone. I would never know exactly what had happened to me, but maybe I was better off that way. I was better off that way. Yay! Wrong ending. Now, should I go back to the beginning or do I continue just in this one? Yes, I want more endings, but the thing is, there's three decisions, and I kind of have a sense that the three are important. So the question is, well, I no. All right, let's let's um let's go from um front to back just to see if that's something different. Make break for it. Staying in one place for too long seemed like it would be inviting trouble. So I took a deep breath and reluctantly crawled out as quietly as I could. But almost immediately I felt something. Tap. Up. Something long and thin had struck me in the back of the head. Or perhaps struck isn't the right word. There was a little force behind it, but it wasn't a hard slam. More like someone trying to get my attention.
木の棒う
Is
ん
that
これ
a
は
wooden rod?
これは
Or no, it's
指
a finger? How do you confuse a wooden rod with a finger? How long is it? I knew I wouldn't like what I was going to see, but I had to face whatever this was. So I turned around, and there, looming over me,
ま
was.
だ残ってるの
Is somebody still here? Yep.
早く帰りなさ
Go
い。
home, child. A figure was peering down at me from above the podium, with one emaciated, wishbone like finger extended toward my face. This is kind of like the White Day ghost that he was on the last building, uh, on the dark rooms, just crawling on top of it. I recognized this person instantly, no doubt about it. This was the strange old woman who supposedly passed away earlier. Oh, different ghost. I was scared out of my mind. I tumbled the rest of the way out of from under the podium and shoot to my feet. Pant pant. A ghost. There was really a ghost at this school. My my breathing was rage and my heart was pounding so hard I thought it might explode. Plowing through all the desks in my way, I ran as fast as I could toward the classroom door. But that was as far as I could
ど
go.
うしたの？
What's wrong? Yeah. There, on the other side of the door, tied up against the glass, was the old woman. She was glowing bluish white, the source of the light from earlier. But how in the world did she get to the door before I did? How did how did she get out of the room so quickly and position herself so perfectly to block my exit? Panwis, panwis. I felt like I was starting to hyperventilate and tried as best as I could to calm my breathing as my eyes darted about the room. I needed to get out of here now, to get as far away from this place as I possibly could.
前のドアから出られないとなると、
If the front
外
door
に
is
出るには
blocked,
後ろ
maybe
の
I
ドアか
can
ら出る
get
しか。
out through the back. You should have thought of that.
でもそうすると廊下は前の
But
ド
if
ア
I
に
do
いるあ
that,
の幽霊
I
の後ろ
can't
を通
leave
ら
the
ないと出
school
口には
without
着かない。
running right past her.
そんなの無理。
There's no way she let me by. But I have to do something. You can throw something to the other side. There's something here, by the way. You can throw something to the other side of the room, distract the ghost, and just leave. There's no way she let me by, but I have to do something. I bit my lip and continued scanning the
何
room.
かあれに
Something.
対抗できるようなも
If
の
I
があれ
just
ばい
had
いんだけど。
something I could use to fight back. I didn't have time to think carefully about it. You can grab a desk and throw it if you want something to fight back. I didn't have time to think carefully about it. I just had to grab something and hope for the best. There were two choices. I had to pick one on impulse before it was too late. I don't need this. Bag of salt.
これって科学の
This
実験
looks
の
like
時に使った
leftover
塩
salt
の
from
残
an
りだよ
old
ね。
chemistry experiment. I messed up. Salt is good against ghosts, damn it. I heard that salt was used in purification rituals, damn it. I should have picked the broom. So it seemed like a natural choice.
これを持ってい
Okay,
こう。
this is coming with me. I placed the salt in my pocket as a sort of protective charm.
怖いけど、行
I'm
くしかな
scared,
い。
but well, here goes nothing. When I looked over, the spirit of the old woman was holding out her hand from the other side of the doorframe. She really was trying to catch me. I wasn't just being paranoid. She was going to kill me and turn me into a ghost like her. I was convinced that this had to be Yoshi, the teacher from that urban legend.
やだ、そんなの。
No, I won't let her get me. Bracing myself, I darted toward the door at the back end of the classroom. There wasn't a moment to lose. If I didn't act fast, I probably wouldn't be able to act at all. I threw the door open and just began running at top speed, hoping to escape behind the spirit's back. Unsurpri- Unsurprisingly, trying to outrun the ghost proved to be a fruitless endeavor. The spirit saw me and moved at breakneck speed to intercept. Stop! Oh, she's chasing. Don't come any closer! Keep running. I thrust my hand into my pocket and withdrew the bag of salt, then threw the entire thing directly at the old woman's face. So salty. She recoiled. Now's my chance. Damn it! Pick the right one. I ran to the hall as fast as my legs could carry me, briefly glancing over my shoulders after a moment to confirm that the spirit was still breathing. Gasp, gasp, whiz. I just kept on running down that dark hallway, with nothing but adrenaline and mortal fear to keep me going. I reached the stairwell at the end of the hall and made a mad dash toward ground level. I was determined to get out of this building alive. Stop! Finally, still moving at top speed, I reached the window door, leaning outside. Almost there. I'm almost out. You still need to change your shoes, right? Luckily, the malevolent spirit hadn't caught up to me yet. It actually seemed like I might be able to escape. I might actually survive this. Here we go. I made it. I grabbed the handle and tried pulling it. Haha. No, no. It's not opening. Why? Why? I'm so close. Please, please, open. I'm begging you. Just break the fucking door. I have to think of something else. At this rate, that horrible woman's going to... No, I can let that happen. But what do I do? What can I do? Oh my god. Run somewhere else. Don't break the glass. I want you to die. I have no choice. I have to keep running. I have to find someplace else. Or maybe I could hide somewhere and throw Yoshi's off my trail. I feel like I should go load back again and use the broom instead of the salt. Maybe that's a a faster death. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna do that. I am gonna do that. Okay, resume for this point. Alright. Okay, so break for it. So now I need the broom. Broom. Maybe if I don't pick anything. Huh. Broom of the cleaning supply locker. That might work. Yeah, sure. Maybe I could fend her off with it. Yes. That's gonna be funny. It was a long shot, but it was better than just standing around and getting caught. What do I do now? What do I do now? Ha! When I looked over, the spirit of the old woman was holding out hand on the other side of the doorframe. She really was trying to catch me. It wasn't just being paranoid. She was going to kill me and turn me into a ghost like her. I was convinced it was Yoshi, the teacher of a legend. And safe end on the hallway. I was running at top speed. The spirit is going to be back. There it is. Eek. I possibly thrust the broom out and stab her in the eye with it. Take that, I thought. But my moment of bravado was shortly lived. The broom immediately shattered into a million pieces. If my attack accomplished anything, it just made her mad. I had the sudden sensation of someone seizing me by the throat, accompanied by an unpleasant crouching sound. God, she really, she really did have me by the throat. My throat. I couldn't breathe. For as old and frail as she looked, she was uncommonly strong. Hee hee hee. Gotcha. Click. No. She was actually gripping me so tightly that she managed to raise me off the ground by my neck. I could see her slender, bony hand in the periphery of my vision and feel it cutting into my trachea. No, you can't. You can't. That's not how peripheral vision works. Unless your eye is popping out. Was that hand really holding me in the air against my will, kicking and flailing by just the tissue and bones of my neck? I couldn't struggle anymore. I was like a puppet on a string. Tag. You're it. Oh, fuck. That snap. Eh. With a sudden crack, my field of vision shifted 19 degrees and everything turned blood red. Oh my. Just like me. Alright. Wrong end. Let's try not to pick anything now. I'm curious. Let's try not to pick anything. Let's let the time run out. Because I am curious of what the hell does happen. Make a break for it. Let's keep going. Let's see. Bam, 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 bam. Let's let it pass. Let's see what happens. Time's up. What do I do now? What do I do now? Ah! When I look over, the spirit of the old woman was holding out her hand on the other side of the door frame. She really was trying to catch me and turn me into her. I convinced the teacher. Ah! I had a sudden sensation of someone seizing me by the throat, accompanied by an unpleasant crouching sound. God, she really did have me by the throat. I couldn't breathe. As for as old frail, she was uncommonly strong. So this is kind of the same. Snap. Interesting. Are these the same endings? These are the same endings. Wrong end 4. Did I get new ones? Let's see. Ending list. Huh! I missed the first two one. So the first choices then. Oh, so probably if I run at the beginning is one of the first ones. So they are the first two. Huh. I probably need to go back earlier then. Let's see. Let's do it quickly. So we go back to where we start the episode. But in this case, I leave the room. Okay, I really don't have to play around right now. I should get out of here. Decided it would be best to put my yearnings aside and leave the classroom behind. Oh, that particularly wonder. That particular wonder turned out to be nothing at all. It seems, yes, it's all just superstition. I couldn't believe I'd gotten all indignant with Tsukasa over something so trivial. Thinking about it now, it seemed kind of
さ
ridiculous.
てと
Alright, time
今
to
日は
head
明日に
home.
備えて早く寝な
I
く
have
ち
to
ゃ
get bed early so I'll be ready for tomorrow. With this in mind, I walked toward the classroom door and took one step into the hall. When suddenly, huh? Oh, that was quick. The door slid shut on its own with incredible force, and my neck was trapped in the narrow opening that remained. Oh my god, this is a different one. I dug my nails into the door, frantically trying to open it back up. But the more I pushed on it, the more it pushed back, further constricting my neck. I was flailing my limbs, twisting and contorting my body, trying everything I could to escape.
なんで
Why? 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 My neck was clamped tightly. I could feel the blood rushing to my head. I couldn't breathe. Opening my mouth in terror, I struck my tongue out as if trying to swallow the air. So all this time I've been going the right way? Okay, that's interesting. Trying to kill her made me go the right way. Oh, ah, oh, ah. Forcefully shaking my head left and right, I swiveled my body to face the ceiling. That's when I saw the tall, pitch black silhouette of a person. Usually, the way in games, one to die, not allowed. Yes. A silent scream squirmed its way out of my throat, but the door was still pressing onto my neck. I can't. Tsukasa! My vision whirled and I felt a sensation of falling. At the same time, a lukewarm liquid began pouring over my
え
face. But as I was struggling to make sense of what was happening to me, the door that had been violently crushing my neck quietly slid open. The floor of the schoolhouse came down hard on my head. My vision had gone white and begun blurring, but I could still see.
私の体が
I
見え
can
る
see my body. I was rolling across the hallway, and there in the doorframe, I caught sight of my own headless torso collapsing in a heap on the floor.
何が
What
起こっ
just
たの
happened? Sleepy Hollow. The last thing I saw, out of the corner of one bloodshot, unfocusing eye, was the familiar figure of the old woman from this morning. Alright. So now we go to the second save. Wrong and one. Yes, that was the wrong and one. Alright. So we now need to look for the second one, and probably is on the other one. Probably is here, and I need to hide in the locker.
どこか隠れるとこ
I
ろ
need to hide, but
そうだ
where? Supply locker. I hurriedly squeezed myself into the metal locker where the classroom cleaning supplies were kept. It was still pitch black in the room, so I really couldn't spare the time it would take to remove its contents. Instead, I just contorted myself to fit. Yes, cough, cough. The locker was thick with the smells of mold and
で
varnish.
もここで
But
息を潜めて
if I
き
can
っと
hold
見
my
つから
breath
な
for
いよ
just a
ね
little while, I think I'll be safe in here. Yeah. So I waited for the footsteps to pass by and fade into the distance, signaling that it was safe to
ずっと
emerge.
こんなところにいたら避
Whoever
けそうだよ
whoever it is had better hurry. I feel like I'm going to suffocate if I'm in here much longer. Yeah, this is the second death. Still, I felt a lot safer in the locker than I did out in the room. But the footsteps weren't receding. They were just getting louder, closer, faster. Ratat- 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 And then they came to a sudden halt. Huh? They were close, just outside the locker. This reminds me to Alien Isolation. I peered through the ventilation holes. Amidst the utter darkness of the classroom, there wasn't a soul to be seen.
大丈夫。ここにいれば
Okay,
大丈夫。
as long as I stay in here, I'll be fine. Just suffocate. I'm not sure why I believe that. Maybe because I need to. Hee hee hee. Maybe because it was so dark, or because I felt so much calmer in such a tight space where nothing could possibly sneak up behind me. You don't need that, honey. I didn't know why. I didn't care. And I just knew that, as far as I was concerned, I was safe in here. Sure. So I stood, motionless and cramped, and I waited. And I didn't have to wait long because I suffocated.
今なん
What
か音がした。
was that?
鍵がかかっ
It
たよう
sounded
な。
like a door locking. Suddenly apprehensive, I gently nudged the supply closet door just to make sure it will still open for me when I wanted to. Oh, that goes to some asshole. It just hee oh, fucking goes is an asshole. Oh,
開か
no,
ない。
it's locked.
見つけた。
Found you. Ow. I let out a sudden yelp at this unknown voice and tried with all my might to push open the door blocking my escape. No, no, please, let me out. Let me out, you fucking
ま
bitch.
だ残ってるの？
Is somebody still here?
居残りしてた罰よ。
You need to be punished for that. There was a brief moment of silence following the eerie voice unsettling proclamation. And then, crash, crunch, the metal walls around me on all four sides began wrapping inwards as the supply locker had somehow been fed into a crash compactor. Ow! What's going on? There was no force I could imagine that should have been able to do this, but it was happening. This already confined space was steadily closing in on me. Look, it's just squishing the locker. No, it hurts. Open the door. Let me out. Crash, crunch. The collapse of the locker all around me continued. Slowly and steadily, I could feel all manner of things pushing and cutting into my body. My vision went bright red. One of the blood vessels on my ass probably burst from the pressure. I wasn't going to last much longer. The ventilation holes in the locker door were now pressed right up against my face, and through them I could just barely make out the figure of a person. It was the old woman from this morning. She was standing just outside the slats, staring right into my eyes. Now that's a scream. It was the last sight I could ever see as the locker finally, inevitably, smashed in my skull. Crash, crash, crunch, crack, splat. Ow. But that's a sound? Creepy ass sound. Yeah. Wrong end too. So, we go back to where we were. We go back to where we were. Make a break for it.
木の棒
まだ残ってる。早く帰り。どうして
Bless you.
前そんな何かあれに対抗できるようなものがあればいいんだ
Salt.
けどこれって科学よしこれを持っていこう怖いけど行くしかないやだそんなのいるんだこの隙
Okay, I'm gonna save again when I get to this place.
やっとここまで
Gonna save here. I can erase the other ones because I'm already. So now I try to break the glass.
どうしようこのままじゃまた
Break the glass and die,
そうだ
maybe. Oh, hey! Putting my thoughts in order, I came to a sudden realization that I was right near the umbrella racks. Unless the spirit had taken it or something, my umbrella should still have been right here where I left it. Ah, here it is. I practically tackle the rack, grabbing my umbrella in one swift motion. Not from the handle, mind you, but from the top. Then, taking aim at the glass part of the door, I swung as hard as I could, smacking it dead center with a sturdy plastic handle. The glass wasn't going to break so easily, of course, but it did crack, giving me the impetus I needed to go in for a second hit. Break it, damn you! Break! Again and again, I struck the glass. I had the umbrella gripped so tightly that the metal skeleton of the canopy was leaving indentations in my skin. I was sure there had to be a better way to do this, but I didn't have the luxury of time to figure out what it might have been. Stop! You must not leave! First you didn't want me to come here, now you don't want me to leave.
またこっちに来る
She's coming this way. Pan, pan, please pan. I began smacking the glass even harder, even faster. My hands were killing me, but this was my only hope for survival. Finally, after far too much effort, I died. Yes, I did it. The glass shattered onto the floor, making one hell of a sound. The drippy air whooshed in from outside. It was still pouring rain, but I was free now, free to escape this hellhole. Please tell me a piece of glass is going to fall in your head and decapitate you. Pan, pan, okay. The pane I'd broken was on the lower half of the door, and I didn't care if I cut myself. I got down on my hands and knees and crawled like mad.
やったもうすぐそ
I
こだ
did it. I'm almost outside. I can actually escape. I'm safe. I felt triumphant. For a brief moment, the fear was gone, and I was basking in my victory over this malevolent entity. Huh? But it didn't last long. Before I was even halfway through the door, I felt something coiling itself around my arm. With a start, I looked back.
外
Oh,
はいけませんよ。
you mustn't go outside. Eek. A tall, shadowy figure, shadowy figure had appeared behind me in the entranceway, and she had me in her grasp. There wasn't much more to her than an indistinct flickering silhouette, but I could clearly see she had a broken neck. Was this a different apparition? His curly, root-like fingers were squeezing at my arm with tremendous force, pushing aside muscle and tissue and pressing right on the bone. No, who? What are you?
どこに行くの？
Where are you going, my
も
dear?
う少しだから。
It'll just be a little longer, so won't you just please wait for me? That hurts. That really hurts. I was shaking hysterically and tears were streaming down my face. I was absolutely convinced that I was going to die here. Let go of me,
さっち
Sachi. I could offer no resistance. She was too strong. All I could do was plead with her. Stop, please. You're really hurting me. I felt like my arms would snap in two at any
ゃん。ず
moment.
ーっと一緒にいましょう
Let's be
ね。
together forever. He wasn't just grabbing, but twisting as well, like a crocodile. The pain was unlike anything I've experienced before. I couldn't think about anything else. My mind was absorbed by the un, uh, unconscionable agony. Wow, the words in this game. Ah, snap.
獅子頭
No! 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 I cannot allow that. I cannot allow that. Sorry. I'm going back. Then I needed to hit somewhere else. Sorry. Sorry.
やだ、なんで、どうして、どうしよう、このままじゃまたあの化け物に。仕方が
I'll
ない。
run somewhere else.
別の場
I
所
have no
に
choice.
行くしか
I have to keep running. Maybe I could find somewhere and throw Yoshi off my trail. Please. Sorry. Pan. I had no particular destination in mind. My only thought was anywhere but here. After maybe 30 seconds, I found myself in the second floor hallway. There was an outside corridor connecting the two buildings of the school there, and it was the first alternate escape route that came to mind. Naturally, it was walled off from the outside for safety purposes, but the wall wasn't so big that I couldn't scale it in a pinch. I didn't really want to jump from the second floor of the school, but if I had to, I was confident that I at least survived the fall with minimal injury.
隠れよう。
I should consider that a last resort for now. Let's just get out of sight. I climbed the wall faster than I thought possible and dropped down to the narrow ledge on the other side. It was just wide enough to sit down. My back was to the hallway, but my location should have been completely hidden from anyone inside the school. I looked down at the muddy ground below me. I really couldn't see much though. The outside was completely dark. It was so dark that it felt almost like the whole world had been trapped in a black veil. Maybe I should just stay here until morning. I mean, even if I ran, I'm pretty sure I'd get caught. I opened the pen case in my pocket and pulled out the pencil I received from Tsukasa. Tsukasa, please protect me. I was really treating this stubby little pencil as a protective charm. Tsukasa said it will guarantee success on my test, not ward off evil spirits. Still, it was better than nothing. I clutched it tightly in my hands and prayed. Please, protect me. I whispered the words so quietly that I might as well have been mouthing them. But that seemed to be all the opening that damn spirit needed. Eek. I sensed a presence on the ledge with me. I was so startled, and was so startled that I almost fell from my perch. No, please, why are you doing this? However, I could only sense her there. I didn't actually see her, and thought for one brief moment that maybe I was letting my imagination run wild. But then I felt the horrible sensation of something coiling itself around my arm.
外はいけません。
You mustn't go outside. Eek. Before I knew it, a tall, shadowy, shadow, shadowy figure half had half emerged from the wall behind me, and she had me in her grasp. There wasn't much more to her than an instinctive flickering silhouette, but I could clearly see she had a broken neck. That she was a different. Was this a different apparition? Her scaly root-like fingers were squeezing my arm with tremendous force, pushing aside muscle and tissue and pressing right into the bone. No, who? What are you?
どこに
Where are you going, my dear? Just be a little longer, won't you please wait for me? This is the same dialogue from the other one. That hurts, it really hurts. I was shaking hysterically and tears were streaming down my face. I was absolutely convinced that I was going to die here. Let go of me, Sachi. I could offer no resistance. She was too strong. All I could do was plead with her. Stop, please. You're really hurting me. I felt like my arm would snap in two at any moment.
ずーっと一緒に
Let's
い
be
ましょう
together
ね。
forever. She wasn't just grabbing, but twisting as well. The pain wasn't like anything I've experienced before. I couldn't think about anything else. Stopping it had become my first and only priority. Anganganganganga. I struggled violently against the spirit's grip, ultimately breaking free by throwing my body off the wall toward the unseen earth below. In the face of that, everything really does seem to slow down. I read somewhere that this is because the brain is sending out all kinds of distress signals or something. Slow motion or not, though, I was fully aware of my surroundings. I was cascading through the air just outside my school building. And another choice. I'm gonna pray upon the pencil. If this is a dream, please let me wake up from it right now. Those were the words echoing through my head as I clutched Sugasa's pencil tight against my bosom, like a prayer talisman. Moments later, I crashed into the ground, and a horrible squelching sound echoed in my ears. My neck was. Tsukasa's pencil failed me. Had pierced into. Oh fuck! Tsukasa's pencil had pierced deep into my throat. That damn Tsukasa! Blood was spurting everywhere. I was practically drowning in it. I landed right on it, and it wasn't long before I grasped my final gasp. Let's go back and try to reach with the hands, just in case, because I do think that I was going the right way when Tsukasa appeared. This is the wrong end 5, so I already have all endings. Right? Let's just check quickly. I supposed to already have all endings except the... These are all bad? This is supposed to be the last one. This is supposed to be the way out. Let's just... Let's just pick the other one. It's gonna probably be a dead end anyway. Yep, this one. Reach out. I was pretty sure this fall would kill me. With a controlled jump, I might have been able to survive, but I was tumbling like a ragdoll. I was a goner. I couldn't even remember what you were supposed to do in a situation like this. Try to flip over, brace for impact, drop the pencil away. In one last-ditch attempt at survival, I stretched out both my arms. Maybe somebody will be waiting there to grab them. Maybe somebody would save me. And somebody actually did. I honestly wasn't expecting that. I really thought there was no hope. But then at the last second, I was yanked to
静
safely. What is the right ending here? I mean, I already have the other one, so we can continue this. S-
大さん
Shishido. Tsukasa?
大丈夫か
Are you
掴め
okay?
俺の腕
Hang on. Don't let go. Right. Right. I held onto his arms with all my might, and against seemingly impossible odds, I was pulled in. My life was saved. This was like a scene out of some anime. It shouldn't have happened. It was too convenient, but it wasn't about to. But I wasn't about to complain. Japan, yeah. Pant, pant.
よ
That
く
was
頑張った
close.
な
Western movie movie. That was close.
どうして
Why, Tsukasa?
今はシノゴの言ってる場
No
合じゃ
time
ない
to explain.
逃
We
げる
have
ぞ
to run. Oh, this is where now Tsukasa explained that he was actually a spirit hunter, right? Anime, and he's going to ask Yui Sensei to be his assistant or something. No time to explain. We have to run. What? Tsukasa was still holding onto me tight after coming to my rescue. He took off down the hall, back into the heart of the school, with me in tow.
チキショーなんだ
Damn
よさ
it.
っきのは
What the hell was
俺
that
は
thing?
夢で
Please
も見
tell
てるの
me
か
I'm just dreaming. Huh? He practically spit these words as he continued
どう
running.
してここに
Why
司くん
is Tsukasa here? I tried to match his gait, and once we were a bit more in sync, I looked up at his face. He was fast. After we reached the end of the hall, he suddenly veered into the last classroom before the stairwell, pulling me in with him. Mm. Pan Pan.
シシド
Shishido, you
お前
okay?
怪我はない
This
か
is where the action happens.
大丈夫
I'm fine. I can walk by
も
myself.
う一人
Really?
で歩けるからあ悪い
Oh, sorry. My bad. I moved away from Tsukasa and almost immediately spilled onto the ground, like a house of cards.
おい大丈夫じゃない
Well,
じゃん
you sure doesn't seem okay to me. I've died many times already. Of course I'm not okay.
そうだけど
Maybe not,
でも
but I
す
just
ぐ
need
に
a few. Huh?
あ無理すんなよ
Hey, don't push yourself. Tsukasa grabbed my arm to help me up. To help me up. Unfortunately, it was the arm Yoshi had been twisting. Ah,
と悪い
oh, sorry.
やっぱり腕
Is it
怪
your
我し
arm
てる
that's
のか
hurting you then?
よく
Yeah, my arm is hurting. That's why I
でも
cannot
すっ
stand up
ごく痛いよ
and
焼け
walk.
るみたい
Yeah. I don't know how bad it is, but it really stings. Like it's on fire. I dropped my other hand over the sore spot, where I assumed there was probably one hell of a bruise. I started rubbing gently, but it didn't help at all.
そうか
That's
じ
not
ゃ
good.
あ保健室ですぐに手当てし
We
た
should
方がいい
get you
な
to the nurse office right away. Then, and take care of it. Why don't just leave the fucking school?
でもそしたらまた
But then we'll be
あいつが来るって
exposing ourselves to that ghost again, right?
うん
Yeah, just thinking about going back out there and facing Yoshi made me shudder. I couldn't believe he was even entertaining the idea.
心配すんな。
Don't worry,
もし仮にあいつが来
even
て
if
も
she does come to get
俺が
us,
絶対お前
I'll
を
keep you
守
safe
っ
no
てや
matter
るから
what, okay?
スカサ君
So this is how Tsukasa dies. Tsukasa. Tsukasa's gentle reassurance actually made me forget the pain in my arm for a moment. I had to stop myself from blushing, or try to, at any rate.
怪我は一刻も早
We
く
need
手
to
当てし
treat
た
your
方がいいっ
injuries
て
as quickly as possible,
ま
or
あ
they
どう
could
せ
get
先生なん
worse.
かいない
The
だろう
nurse
けど
may
応
not
急
be
手
in,
当くらいなら
but I can
俺
at
にだっ
least
てできる
apply first aid, give you some herbs, and show you heal. This is not Resident Evil. Okay,
よし
alright,
行くぞ
then let's go. Tsukasa offered me his hand, and then I grabbed his stick. And I graciously took it, squeezing it tightly as he led me back on out into the hallway.
スカサ君の手
Tsukasa's hand
温かい
is so warm and fuzzy. Despite the fact that nothing had really changed, I was still in just as much danger as I had been. The paralyzing fear I've been feeling was gone. If it were just me, I would never been able to do this. I would frozen up. I would die many ways, like in the locker or in the podiums, in the teacher's podium, or just because of a broom. But with Tsukasa leading the way, I felt like I could do anything.
シシド少し
Shishido,
走るけど
are you okay
大
to
丈夫
run? Yeah, sure. Yeah, sure. With my blessing, Tsukasa upped his pace significantly.
もうあいつが出てきませんよう
Don't
に
let her show up. I prayed silently for smooth sailing as I followed Tsukasa's
この
lead.
まま
As
スカ
long
サ
as
君と
he's
一緒
with
にい
me,
られれば
I think he'll
安
be
心
I think I'll be okay. I gently squeezed his hand again, as if to reassure myself that he was still with me. And then his hand fell. I was starting to think maybe Yoshi's was gone. Maybe with throated throat parted hair? But of course, just as I was thinking that, she made her presence known again. Yukitune. Eep! Gasp.
なんだ
What
っ
the
たん
hell
だ
was that? Show
出
yourself!
てこい
Oh, someone is manly? An unearthly voice reverberated through the dark corridor. I immediately drew myself into Tsukasa's back and grabbed that chest.
もっと
Manly chest.
連れてこい
Bring me more sacrifices. Oh, hello. Over Tsukasa's shoulder, I saw the same shadow-like spirit from before. It must have been waiting there to ambush us. Yuck!
大丈夫落ち着
It's
け
alright. Stay calm. But the ghost was moaning and wavering before us. We've never been able to get past it.
私のために
You'll do anything for me.
おいシシド
Hey, Shishido.
俺
Yeah?
があいつを引きつけるから
I'm going to
その隙に
draw
走って逃げろ
that thing's attention. While it's distracted, I want you to run.
やだよ
What?
一緒に逃げて
No way! We'll have to run. We'll run together.
俺には秘密兵器
I
があ
got
る
a secret weapon. You what?
俺のばあさんからもらった
It's a keepsake charm from my grandmother.
さっきあ
My
いつにこれを向けた
my
ら
grandmother
少し
gave
盛り
me.
上がった
When he pointed at that thing earlier, it definitely had an effect.
形見のお守り
A charm? Yeah,
でも
but
スカサ
Tsukasa,
君やっぱり危
you'll
険
still be putting yourself right in harm's way.
俺
Elle, we'll be fine.
なんとか
It'll all work out somehow or another. That's not.
待ちなさい
Stay where you are. We really didn't have time to be arguing. It was closing in fast. And as it did, I noticed the spirit's figure had become more defined. She was a tall, young woman with her head turned sideways at a 90-degree angle. That would be me. No, zero fucks, I got this. Okay. The tale of Yoshi suggests she fell down a flight of stairs, so a broken neck will certainly fit.
早く走れ
Go! Run! Ah! He gave my back a shove to get me started, and with no time to object, I unconsciously obliged. Tsukasa ran too, darting ahead of me for a few short moments.
おい化け物
Hey,
こっち
ghost
だ
lady, over here!
待ちなさい。
Stop! No. Tsukasa! Tsukasa ran as close as he possibly could to get Yoshi's attention, then turned tail and began sprinting off in the opposite direction.
こっちだぞ化け
Come
物
get me, you monster! Amazingly, it worked. The spirit began chasing Tsukasa, leaving me completely unobstructed.
どうしよ
This doesn't feel right.
うこのまま一人
Should I
で逃げて
really
もいい
escape
の
without him? I was torn. I was torn. On the one hand, I knew this was my best chance, but I couldn't help worrying about what would happen to Tsukasa if this charm failed. I stopped for a moment and glanced over my shoulder. He was still running, and the shadowy figure was still in hot pursuit. Tsukasa, she's way too close. You need to take out your charm.
いいから行けって
Why don't
お
you
前
have
が
it
逃げ
out?
切ったのを確認したら
It's fine.
俺も
I'll
逃げる
tell
か
you
ら
to
さ
keep going. Once you're out of harm's way, I'll be right behind you, I promise. Ah, lies. I still can't believe I fell for it, but this was right about when I realized the truth. Tsukasa had no protective charm. He just made that up so I wouldn't object too strongly to him serving a decoy while I got away.
やっぱりダメ
No, I can't let him go with this. I stopped in my tracks and shouted out at the top of my lungs.
待ちなさい
Yoshi!
先生
Hold it right there! Gasp. I wasn't sure exactly what I was getting myself into, but I had to do something, and calling the spirit's name definitely seemed to have an effect.
あなたの名前知ってる
That's
わ
right.
よ
I know your
お
name.
いシシト
Shishito, what are you doing? All at once, the black figure was facing me. True, I never saw her turn around. She was flying toward me now, ignoring Tsukasa.
怖くない怖くない怖くない
I'm not scared, I'm not scared, I'm not scared, I'm not scared, I'm not scared. I fucked up, 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 I fucked up. I repeated this like a mantra and stuck one hand into my pocket, grasping tightly onto the one and only item I stashed there.
お前は私を
So you know who I am then.
私には
Unlike
本当
him,
にお
I
守り
have
があ
a
る
real protective charm. Tsukasa's scare, his effort, his beliefs, they were all packed into this pencil. And when you get right down to it, that's what a charm is, right? Yes and no. I squeezed the nubby little thing in my pocket, mentally preparing myself for the confrontation ahead, the confrontation I impulsively
シシ
initiated.
ト逃げろ
Shishino, you have to run.
逃げない
I won't. I absolutely will not.
どうか
God,
お願い
please, protect me. I close my eyes at night, lift my hand from my pocket and brandish Tsukasa's pencil intently. The gauntlet had been thrown. I was putting a lot of faith into this, and I really, really hope I hadn't made a mistake in doing so.
私は獅子のゆい
My name is Yui Shishito, and my goal is to become a teacher here at the school. Gosh. I opened my eyes to find out that the shadowy spirit, Yoshi, had stopped dead in her tracks. Did it work? Was Tsukasa's pencil keeping this vengeful soul at bay? No, it's your words.
私
Oh,
の代わりは
I don't need a
いらない。
replacement. Just die.
死ね。
Okay. Suddenly, I was whisked off my feet and slammed against the ceiling. Wow.
シシド
Shishira! I could see him down below. He was staring up at me and desperately leaping. He was trying to catch me, I suppose, even though he knew he'd never reach. Tsukasa! I called out to him over and over again in my mind. If he couldn't get away, if he could survive this ordeal, then it would all have been worth it. Yoshi was drawing near, and I was helplessly pinned to the ceiling. I had no chance at all. There was no doubt in my mind that my life was over. So now I'm curious, there are two ways to get out of this? I clung to the relief I felt at Tsukasa's safety. It was the only thing keeping me from losing my head entirely. Then, all at once, the situation took a complete 180. It was like a miracle.
篠崎よし
Yoshieshi
こ
no
こまでに
Saki!
せい
Stop right there! Shinosaki. Do we know that name? That last name? Before I had any idea what was happening, I found myself bathed in a gentle light. So, first the old woman is killing me, now she's saving me. What the fuck?
おばあちゃん
The woman from this morning. See? First she's killing me, and now she's saving me? Why?
守ってやれんですまんな
I'm sorry I wasn't able to protect you,
邪術
but
が
now,
拡
at
大
least,
す
the
る
evil
こ
will
と
spread no further. I don't get it. It was the old woman who had collapsed in front of my house. She was standing down below me, enveloped in a warm glow. The black shadow lunged toward her. Then there was a horrific noise, and the old woman was gone.
シ
Yuck,
シド
Shishida. And just like that, I fell to the ground. Whatever Yoshi had done to me, the old woman just have nullified it. That must have been why she came to me this morning, and why she had come again now. I felt like I was going to faint. Tsukasa ran to my side and gently scooped me off the ground into his arms. Yoshi's spirit was gone. She vanished along with the light. Around us now, the only sound was the pitter-patter of raindrops on the school roof.
おいシシド
Hey,
シシド
Shishido! Shishido! Huh? Tsukasa?
かさ
I suffered quite a bump on the head from my fall and was decidedly disorientated. But I still had enough sense to put my arms around Tsukasa's neck
バカ
and
逃
choke
げ
him.
ろって言ったのに
You idiot! Didn't I tell you to run away? I'm sorry. It's just I wanted to protect you. I couldn't bear the thought of losing you. Is what I wanted to say. But instead, I just passed out in his arms. I felt as thought I was waking from a long, horrible dream.
おい大丈夫か
Hey, you okay? Yeep!
おいシシド
Huh? Shishido? Pan, where are we?
ここどこ
本当に大丈夫か
Man, how hard a
見れば
fall
わかるだろ
was that?
学校の保健室だ
We're
っ
in
て
the nurse's office. Can you tell?
保健
The
室
nurse's office? It occurred to me to look at my surroundings, probably something I should have done before asking about them. But in my defense, I was out cold. Beige wall, pink curtains, white beds with solid blue covers. This was indeed the school infirmary, no doubt about it.
どうして
Why are you?
どうしてもこうしても
A better
お前があ
question
んなとこ
is
ろで倒れ
why
てたか
you're
ら
here.
ここに連れてき
I
てやっ
found
た
you
んじゃ。
passed out on the ground out there, so I carried you in.
あんなとこ
Out where exactly?
おいおいまだ
Jeez.
具合悪いんじゃない
Did you
の
get a
か
concussion or
肛
something?
門だよ肛門
It was right by the school
ろ
gate.
肛門に
The
Watashi-
school gate?
そこに倒れ
That's
て
where
た
you
の
found me?
そうだけど
Huh? Ring any bells?
私
But
確かに
I
学
was
校
trapped
の中
inside
で
the
ヨシエ
school
さん
and
から逃
running
げ
from
て
Yoshi, wasn't I?
そうだ腕を怪我
Oh,
して
that's right, my arm. It's probably broken.
腕
my arm's okay.
はあ腕
Huh? Your arm? What have you been smoking?
夢だったの
Was it a dream?
う
No,
んそんなはずない
couldn't have
だっ
been.
て本当に痛くて
I
痛
mean,
くて
it
死
really
んじゃい
hurt,
そうだったのに
and I really thought I was going to die. And I really did a
ああ
couple
まあ
times.
なんか様子が変だけ
Well,
ど
you're still a little out
と
of
にかく無事
sorts,
で
but I'm glad you're safe. At any rate,
こういうのって虫の知らせって
I
言
guess
う
you
んだ
could say
な
I had a gut feeling,
な
maybe.
んとなく気になってお
I
前ん
just
ちに行っ
got
たら
concerned and
お前
stopped
の
by
お母
your
さんに
house.
学校に行ったって
And your
聞
mom
いた
told
な
me you had gone back to
そ
school,
した
so
ら
I came
あん
by
なところ
to
に倒れ
find
てるん
you,
だもんな
and well, I found you.
司くんあの
Tsukasa,
うんうん
yes,
まあとり
yes.
あえず詳しい
There'll be
話
time
は後で
for
聞くから
thanks
さ
and such later
ちょ
on.
っと待って
Right
な
now, there's something I've gotta do, so hang on a sec.
あ
Okay.
司くん行っち
Where
ゃ
are
っ
you
た
going, Tsukasa? Wanted
ヨ
to
シエ
ask
さ
you
んの
about
こと
Yoshi.
聞こうと思ったのに
あらシシドさん
Ah,
目が覚め
Shishido.
たのね
Glad to see you're awake.
先
Ma'am,
驚いたわよ
you
み
gave
く
us
にくん
both
が
quite
体
a
操会で
scare.
私を呼びに来るんだ
Mikuni
もの
was pale as a
私
ghost
が
when
同
he
直で
came
よ
to
かった
get
わ
me.
ね
Lucky for you, I was working late
生
tonight.
ご迷惑をおかけしてす
I'm
みませ
so
ん
sorry to have troubled you. Hey, hey, hey.
それはいいのよ
It's fine,
で
of
も
course.
あなた
But you
ずい
know,
ぶんうなされてい
you
たか
were
ら
really
悪い夢
moaning
で
in
も
your
見てたん
sleep.
じゃない
Were you having nightmares?
悪い夢
Nightmares.
そうよみくに
It
く
seemed
んを
like
す
you
ごく心
were.
配してたわよ
Mikuni was worried sick about you.
そうだ
So it really was just a nightmare then.
悪い夢
Maybe
なら
that scary story this
昼間
afternoon
に
was
怖い
just
話
too
とか
much
聞い
for
ちゃっ
me.
たし
ともかくもう
Are you
大丈
feeling
夫
a little better now? At least?
はい
Yeah,
そうよかったわ
that's good. The nurse smiled cheerfully and disappeared behind the partitioning curtain. Letting out a sigh, I laid myself down on the bed once more. I was dead silent. The rain must have let up. The only sound I heard was an occasional cough from the nurse, who was otherwise going about her business quietly.
そういえば
Oh, wait.
ペンケース
What about the pen case? I thrust my hands into my pockets, not really expecting to find it, but
ちゃんとある
there it is. The pen case, complete with Tsukasa's pencil talisman inside, was present and accounted for. Which meant that
私やっぱり教
I
室には
made
行っ
it
た
to
んだ
my classroom.
やっぱり
Maybe
夢
it
じゃ
wasn't
ない
a dream after all.
おーい
Hey. Huh?
あ
Oh,
翼くん
Tsukasa,
おか
welcome
えり
back. I was still trying to remember exactly the exact details about what happened when I unexpectedly felt something cold press against my cheek.
これって
What are you?
お前うなされて
You
た
were
だろ
sleeping pretty
汗も
restfully,
か
you
いてた
know,
し
and
喉
sweating
乾い
an
たんじゃないか
awful,
なと
an
思って
awful
さ
lot. So I figured that you might be thirsty.
Coffee, give me.
Here, it's a coffee latte.
ありがとう
Oh, thank you. Tsukasa went out of his way to buy this just for me. It was a lovely gesture. How could I possibly refuse?
お前さ
Hey,
明日と
isn't
いうか
tomorrow,
も
or I
う今日
guess
か
it's today now, but
推薦の試
either
験だ
way,
ろ
don't you have an
何時からだ？
entrance exam to take? What time does it start?
9時
At 9.
あと4時間か
So in 4 hours
も
then.
う
God, I don't
無理だ
even
よ
want to think
今日
about
は
that right now. Not after the day I just had. I've been put through hell on earth. Taking a test was the furthest thing from my mind. I was in tears, and I had no idea why. Maybe it was because I was so relieved, so glad to be alive. Sav, Sav. Okay, hey,
よ
Shishiru,
し
can you
な
stand?
あ獅子堂起きれるか
Huh?
ちょうどいいからお前にいい
The
もの見
timing's
せてや
just
る
right, so I'm going to show you something good.
いいもの
Something good?
おう
Yeah,
そうだな
or
むし
rather,
ろ
it's something I really
お
want to
前に
see.
は見てほし
If
いん
you're
だ
up to it, sure, I guess. My nose was still running, but my heart felt a lot lighter. I no longer felt threatened by the school. I was comfortable and safe. The two of us left the nurse's office, with Tsukasa in the lead, and even though I was holding a cold coffee in my hand, I still felt warm all over. Neither of us said a thing as he led me through the empty halls. It occurred to me that when we last saw one another, I was mad at
ほ
him.
ら
Look,
獅子堂
Shishido, we're
着いた
here.
ぞ
ここって
What?
渡り廊下
Is this just the walkway between the buildings?
まあまあもうす
Just
ぐだ
wait,
からちょっと
you'll
待ってろ
see in a minute.
もうすぐ
See? What? I had no idea what I was looking for. The sunrise? I just kept staring at him, but his eyes were fixed on the window, leading out into the hallway. As I gazed upon him in profile, I felt my heart skip a
昨
beat.
日のこと
I have to
謝らなくちゃ
apologize for what happened yesterday. But I wasn't sure what to say. I love you? Kiss me? Fuck me? I let my feelings get the better of me and re- re- reprimanded reprimanded him for behavior that was, at least at the time, entirely reasonable. There was more to it than that, though. There was one particular reason, more than any other, that made it hard for me to think of the words to say here. He and I had run from Yoshi together. We escaped her wrath, against unsur- unsurmountable odds. And what if that wasn't all just a dream?
お出てきたぞ
Bingo, here we go. Huh? I followed Sukasa's pointing finger. And. Oh!
朝日
Whoa, it's beautiful.
すごい
What an absolutely stunning sunrise.
俺ここでよく
It's
夕
actually
日を眺めてる
sunset.
んだけどさ
I enjoy watching
朝
most
日も
from
いいも
here.
んだな
But the sunrise is pretty great too.
綺麗だよ
It's gorgeous.
街がオレンジに染ま
The whole town is painted orange.
元気出てきたな
Huh. Looks like you're back in good spirits again.
ここって
This
小
is
田君の言って
the
た
place that you
例
were
の場
talking
所
about, isn't it?
おう
Oh, yeah, is it?
今ま
It
で
is.
絶対に教
You've
え
been
てくれ
keeping
なかった
this
のに
spot from me all
どう
this
して今
time,
日は
so why now?
その
Why are you
教えてくれ
showing
る
it to me today?
ん別に
No
Nah,
reason,
nah.
really.
のなんとなくって
No reason, huh? I could think of a reason, but I didn't say anything. It just seemed kind of far-fetched to me. And if I were misinterpreting him, I'd be very embarrassed. He couldn't possibly. Could he? He's still grabbing. You're still holding hands. My face felt kind of warm. I placed the sweetie cafe a late can on my cheek and sighed
ど
softly.
うした顔
You
赤いぞ
feeling okay? Your face is really red.
そう
Oh, yeah? What? Is it?
まだ具合悪いんじゃないのか
You aren't still feeling faint, are you?
そんなこと
No,
ないよ
no, nothing.
その
Nothing like that.
おい
It's just
朝日
yeah,
が
it's the sun.
紫外線
It's the way the light's playing off my skin. That's all.
ああ
Ah,
ほどな。
you're full of bullshit. I get it. Okay. Boys can be so tense sometimes. Sometimes it's not tense. Sometimes it's just okay. I'll let it slide. You're not saying what you want. I'll let it slide.
試験頑張れよ。
Good luck on the exam, by the way.
今からすぐ戻って
If
準
you
備す
head
れば
back now and
間に合う
get
から。
ready, you should still be able to make it.
ありがとう
Thank you.
司くんのそれ
That's what I like about you, Sukasa.
え
Huh? He?
それ
Also, I'm sorry.
あとごめんね
She pushes him off the bridge.
なんで謝るんだよ。
For what?
あいや
Well, it's just that yesterday things
なんか
might
ちょっ
have
と気
seemed
ま
a
ずく
little
なっちゃった
awkward
し
between us
七
after
不思議
talking
の話
about that school legend. Remember?
あ
Oh yeah, you
Ah,
were
そんなこと
bitching
もあった
about
っ
it.
け？
Yeah, I think something like that. Yeah, you were told bitch. Yes, I
そ
remember.
んなこともって
What do you mean
私
something
は
like
結
that?
構気にしてたんだけ
I
ど
was
ね
really bothered by it. You know? That's your problem, not mine.
あ女子はほんと細かいこと気にす
You
るよ
girls
な。
obsess over the
俺は
little,
全
the
然なん
latest
と
things
も思ってな
sometimes.
かったのに。
Me, I didn't think anything of it.
そっか
Really? No. I let out another sigh and turned back toward the morning sun, stretching my arms skyward as a sudden wave of exhaustion overcame me, and also my brow fall. No? Okay. The day got brighter bit by bit, and I just stood there, silently trying to piece together all the jumbled thoughts rolling around in my head. I was running away from Yoshi, and Tsukasa was with me. Then I was saved by that old woman.
やっぱり
It
夢だ
really was just a dream, huh?
あんなの
As the bright rays of the sun washed over me, I felt new life and hope welling up from within, and I finally came to terms with those horrid events. Most likely, I got the pen case without incident, but then, on my way back, something hit my head and knocked me out. That would be just my luck.
あ、ちょっとシシド。
Oh, hey,
動くなよ。
Chishido, don't move.
そのまま。
Stay right here, right there, just like that. Because we still have a lot of dialogue. This chapter is not gonna end ever. No. I didn't know what he was planning to do, but he was staring right at me. I felt kind of like he was staring into my soul. He was trying to hypnotize me. And then. What? Slowly, Tsukasa drew his face toward mine. Oh, ha, ha, Tsukasa, you dude. You dog.
これ
Is he?
シシド。
He better. Shishido. No way. Is he really going to? I shut my eyes and kissed. I was ready for this. Or maybe I just didn't want to look. But the next sensation I felt wasn't quite the one I was expecting. He was licking my face.
シシド、これ
Shishido,
大丈夫か？
what happened here? Huh? He grabbed my arm for some reason and was staring down at it intently.
何よ紛らわしい
What
な
the hell? What is he doing? Why he's not kissing me? Whoa,
やだ
what is
何
that?
それ
Seriously, I had no idea that was there. Turns out he was just concerned by the strange bruise I had apparently received, which had momentarily become visible when I raised my arms. It was right around my elbow, right where Yoshi had grabbed me in my dream.
痛そうだな。
Looks like it hurts.
全然痛くない
It
けど
doesn't hurt at all, actually,
けど
but what?
うん
Never
なんでも
mind.
ないよ
It's nothing. Giving a wry smile, a worried smile, I gently pulled my arm from his grip.
ねえ司くん
Hey, Tsukasa.
ん
Yeah?
帰る前に
Before we go
一
home,
つ
I have a
お願い
favor
が
to
あ
ask
る
you.
んだけど
Close your fucking eyes and let me kiss
な
you.
んだよ。
What is it?
で
Would you mind if we held hands? You're already holding hands.
手
Held hands?
手
Yeah, just for a little.
ダメかな
Or is that asking too much? Oh my.
なんで
I
という
just
彼
grab
の
his
言
fucking
葉
hand.
にはなんとなくと答えた
This is now full-blown hentai. No actual ecchi in this. Yes, I know. I'm disappointed. When he asked why I wanted to do this, I fed his own line. Just, just, just. I just told him. No reason.
そっと指先を掴んだだけの軽いものだったけど
We only joined fingertips. Oh!
お互いの
But
心
for the
が
first
つながっ
time,
ているのを
it really felt like I
感
was concerned to another, connected to another
じ嬉
person's
しかったのを
person's heart.
覚えている
I remember feeling so happy. Just touching fingers.
ふーん
ゆい
Hey,
先生
Miss
ゆ
Yui,
い先生
Miss Yui, we back to ecchi? Tsukasa. That's it. That's the spot.
ゆい先生ってば
Miss Yui, please wake up. Huh? I knew I'd heard that voice before, but who was it? Was I just dreaming again? I still felt like I was holding Tsukasa's hand though.
ゆい先生って
Miss Yui, your hand.
え
Look where you're grabbing.
Hmm?
What?
やっと起きた
Good. You're awake and conscious apparently. What?
持田くん
Mochida?
そうだよ
That's
持田
right.
聡だよ
It's Satoshi Mochida,
え
not Tsukasa.
と
Uh-huh. I was still dazed. I had no idea what was going on. All I knew was that one of my students, Satoshi Mochida, was here, and he looked concerned.
ゆ
Um,
い先生
Miss Yui, your hand
いい
is...
加減手を
What?
あら
Oh my! I finally realized what he was talking about. I was holding Mochida's hand in my own and squeezing it awfully tightly.
やだごめんなさい
Excuse me, please. I'm so sorry.
いいけどさ
It's no
ゆ
problem
い先
though.
生
I have to
結
say,
構握力
you have a
強いんだ
really
よ
strong grip, Miss Yui.
あらそう
Do I?
でも
Now,
昔は
in the
火曜日
past, I
儚
was
い美
renowned
少女
far
として
and wide
巷
for
に
being
名
a
を馳せ
weak
たものだ
and
けど
dainty young beauty. You know,
と
um,
そ
how
れ
exactly
どこ
do I
から突っ
respond
込
to
んで
that?
いいの
手厳しいわね
Well, you could say something nice. Mochido was a good student. He and I got along well, and we were already falling back into our usual pattern of good-natured ribbing. Except,
ちょっと待って
Wait.
どうして
Wait a minute.
持田くんがうちにいる
why are
の
you here, Mochida?
それさっき話したじゃん
That's I told you earlier, didn't I? Huh?
は
I
そ
guess
の
I
調子
shouldn't
じゃ
be surprised you don't
何も
remember
覚えて
anything.
ないんでしょ
You're not a virgin anymore. What am I supposed to remember exactly?
さっき俺の作ったおかゆ
A little while ago, you
薬
ate some
飲んで
porridge I
また寝た
made
じゃないか
and took medicine before
その
passing
時
out again.
話したのに
I told you everything then. You did?
本当に綺麗さっぱり
Have
覚
you
えてない
seriously forgotten all of that?
全然
Completely. Hehe. Hee.
笑えないよ
Don't laugh. Jeez. Mochida sighed and pointed at the table.
あれ山
Class
田先生
notes
からの届け
From
物
from Mr. Yamasaki.
もしかして
Wait,
わざわざそれを
Did you
届
come
け
all
に来
this
てくれ
way
たの
just to deliver those?
そうだよ
Yeah.
そしたら
And
ゆ
when
い
I
先生
did,
があんまり
you
に
were
ひ
in
ど
a
い状態だ
pretty
ったから
bad
飯
way.
作って
So I made you some porridge.
あ
Oh,
キッチン借りていいって
don't
言った
worry.
のは
I have
モネだか
permission.
ら
Monet said Monet said I could borrow your kitchen. Yeah, sure.
もう姉ちゃんがね
Okay. Monet did he. I stroked Monet's neck and he lay down contentedly on my futon. Such a pretty kitty. I was getting kind of wrapped up in petting him, as I often did. I almost forgot Machida was here until he let a huge sigh.
ゆい先生、
Also,
玄
Miss
関の
Yui,
鍵は
leaving
閉め
your
ないと不
front
用
door
心だよ。
unlocked is really dangerous.
あら、開いてた？
Horny students can come in. Oh, was it open?
うん、
Yeah.
今回ばかりは
And you were
開いてて
lucky
助かった
I
け
was the
ど、
one who
でも
discovered
今
that.
後はちゃんと
You
閉め
really
ないと
need
ダメ
to
だから
be
な。
you really need to be more careful.
気をつけるわ。
Duly noted. Thanks. Hehe.
なんで笑う
Did
の？
I say something funny?
持田くん、
No.
私のお母
You
さ
just
ん
sound
だ
like
か
my
ら。
mother. Not even friend zone. Mother zone.
うわ、複
Yikes.
雑。
I don't think I have any implication there. Chuckle. I didn't mean to laugh. I must have seemed kind of deranged, but I could always blame it on the fever. Excuses. Bad excuses. Mochila looked at me and let out another sigh. My poor sense of humor must have been getting to him. Ah, well,
でもま
you sure seem a
あ、
lot
だい
better
ぶ
now
元気になってきたみ
than
た
you
いで
were when I got
よ
here,
かっ
at
たよ。
least. So that's something.
そうみたい。
I feel better too.
結構寝てたもんな。
You slept
ゆい
like a
先生。
rock, Miss Yui.
そうね。
That's right.
確
I
か
woke up
今
this morning
朝
feeling
風邪で
dizzy
め
and
まいが
chilled.
して
I called in sick,
学校にお
put out
休みの
food
電話
for
をし
Monet,
て
and I
モネちゃん
don't
のご
remember
飯
a
を
thing
用
after
意し
that.
あれ、コンビニ行ったんじゃな
You
い
don't
の？
remember going to the convenience store?
コンビニ？
Convenience store?
うん。
Yeah.
冷却シートと
I
弁
found
当があっ
cold
て。
packs and snacks.
と、
Let's see.
ほらこれ、
Here. Look.
レシートの時間、
The time on the
計算になっ
on
て
the
るけ
receipt.
ど、
It was this morning.
本当だ。
Wow, you're right.
もしかしてゆい先生、
Wow. How can you possibly not
Convenience
remember
覚えてないの？
going to the convenience to the store? Eh, eh, eh.
うわーもう、
Amazing.
しっかりしてく
That's
れ
just
よ。
seriously. You need to pull yourself
まさ
together.
かパジャマ
You
で出
didn't
かけ
go
たりして
to
ないよな。
you didn't go out in your pajamas or anything, did you?
そんなことは
Well,
ない
I
と思う
don't
けど。
think I did.
どうかな。
I wouldn't be surprised.
笑ってごまかさ
Don't
な
try
い。
and hide behind that laugh.
ごめんごめん。
Sorry, sorry.
持田くん、
Were
私
you
のことずっ
taking
と
care of
看
me
病して
this
くれてた
whole
の？
time, Mochida?
うん。
Uh-huh. Also buttoning your blouse and pulling up your pants.
そう。
Come on, say it.
遅くまでごめんなさいね。
I'm really sorry you had to stay this late. It was already past 10 o'clock in the evening. Holy crap. I couldn't believe Mochida had been with me this whole time. I felt both guilty and grateful, and I definitely gained a new respect for him.
おかゆ、まだちょっと残って
There's
る
still a
から。
little porridge left
腹減ったら
if you
食べ
get
てよ。
hungry.
え
No,
あとそれ
thanks.
から、
And I bought this too.
え、スーパー
You
の
went to the supermarket?
冷蔵庫を見たら、
There wasn't
何もなかった
anything
から
in the
さ、
fridge when I
ついでに
checked,
買っておいた
so
よ。
I figure I might as well. So I took your purse, so grab some money.
え
Huh? The bag was quite heavy. Inside it was a bottle of orange juice, some bananas, canned peaches, apples, and other assorted fruits.
これ
That's
風邪の時って、ビタミン
vitamins.
を取るといいんだろ。
When you're as sick as you
それ
were,
食べて、
your body needs
早く
all
良く
the
なって
help
よ。
it can get to fight back. Think it like medicine.
持田くん、
Mochida. That much fruit couldn't have come cheap. I hope so. Fruit is supposed to be cheap, especially for a high schooler. I considered offering to pay him back, but decided against it. I knew he wouldn't take my money, and besides, I really appreciated the fact that he'd gone to all this trouble for me, and returned the favor another time. I don't think he needs grades. I think Moshida is already good at school, so if it ever seemed like he was going to be staying late after school, maybe I'd buy him dinner. Sexy dinner. Or I could help him with preparations for the school festival.
じゃあ俺帰るよ。
Well, it's getting late. I should go.
あ、大丈夫？
あ
み
Would you be
わかる
okay?
かしら？
Do you know your
なんなら
way back?
途中まで
If
見
you
送り
like,
に
I
行くわ
can
よ。
take you at least part of the way.
大丈夫だよ。
It's fine.
ゆい
Just
先
go back
生
to
は
sleep, Miss
お
Yui.
となしく寝てて。まだ本調子じゃないんだし。
You're not better just yet.
第一、
And besides,
夜
it
道
isn't
を
safe for
女
a
の人
woman
一
to
人で
walk
歩くな
alone
ん
at
て
night. Oh, man. Oh, he's a man. Oh, he's a man.
ふん。
Oh,
町田
you're
君は
such
優
a
しい
sweetie.
ね。
Seeing
そう
how
いうとこ
much
キ
you
ュンと
care
しちゃ
just
う。
make my heart skip a beat.
あれ
Oh, does
そう
it
いうこ
now?
と俺に言
I'm
って
not
いい
sure you'd
の
be saying something like that to me. You should be saying something like that to me, Miss Yui. Huh?
なんで？
Oh, oh, he's smooth. Oh, he's smooth. Why not? But and I joked like this a lot. Usually, it made him blush and get adorably embarrassed. Yeah, because he was in public. Now, it's in your house. But not today. Today he just grinned sheepishly, with a mischievous glint in his eye. I saw stuff. I didn't quite get it. was what was this what was his angle?
司くんって誰
Who's Tsukasa,
先生の
Miss
恋人
Yui? Is he your boyfriend? Oh, evil. Ah!
どうして？
How
そ
do
れ？
you?
ゆい先生寝てるとき
You kept
ずっ
calling
とそ
his
の人の
name
こと呼ん
in
でた
your
よ
sleep.
うなされな
Tsukasa,
がら何度も
Tsukasa. You
司くん
cried,
司くんって
lost in some sort of wonderful dream. What?
誰なんだよ
So, who is he? That crafty Mochida had turned the tables on me. And how embarrassing to know that I've been calling Tsukasa's name.
それは。
I hesitated to answer for a moment, but then figured, what the hell, why not?
司くんはね。
Tsukasa was my first love.
恋の人。
ふーん
Oh,
その様子じゃ
judging by your
いい先
actions
生のよっぽ
earlier,
ど
you
その
must
人
have
のことが好き
seriously
だったん
been
だね
head over heels for him.
え？
What? Why?
だって
Well,
先生さっきすご
when
か
I
った
got
よ
here, you thought
俺の
I
こと司
was
って人と間違
Tsukasa.
えてたでしょ
It was unbelievable.
やだ。
You rubbed your hot body in me. Wait, what are you saying?
ゆい先生
Miss Yui,
顔赤い
your
よ
face is beet red.
これは熱の
That's
せいよ。
just my fever, I swear. Sure.
ふーん
Mhm.
まあいいや
Well, that's
そ
fine.
ういうことにして
I'll
あげ
let
る
you believe whatever you want to believe. Oh, nice. Good one.
あ
Oh,
んま
come
り
on.
大人をからかう
Whatever
のね。
happened to respecting your elders? You shouldn't mess with adults. Now you were messing with me.
だってこんなゆい先生
But you're in rare form
めったに見れない
today.
からさ
We never get to see you like this. I wasn't sure he was ever going to give me the full story for all the embarrassing things that I had done in my fever days. And maybe that was better he didn't. Yes? Either way, I was in deep in his debt. So he could tease me all he wanted. Just this once.
おっと
Oh,
やばい
crap. I have to
そ
get
ろそ
going.
ろ帰らないと
Yuka's going to be
ゆかが
really
快
angry
感
with
だ
me.
今日はありがとね。
Thanks for
もう
everything.
暗いから
It
気をつ
starts
けて帰
out,
るね。
so please be careful on your way home.
はーい
No worries.
それじゃあ先生
And Miss
食
Yui,
事をきちんととって
you be sure to
頑張って
eat right
早く
and
治して
get
くれよ
better ASAP. You hear me? Of course. I'll kick this in no time.
ファイト
Fight! Oh! Fight the good fight.
ありがとう。
Thanks.
いい子だな。
What a
町
good
田
kid.
君は
That Machida. I better be careful though.
あの子は生徒だ
He's
ね
my student, after all. Ha! Did he move something?
おいで。
Come here,
マネちゃん
Manet.
一緒に
Just live with mommy tonight. Hehe. I miss
会い
you,
たいな。
Tsukasa.
つかさくん。
An entire episode without me playing. An entire episode without me playing is just decisions. And all the endings in this one was just about decisions. This was this was long. This chapter was so fucking long. Oh my god. There. All the endings. So what? Chapter 4 is going to be short? It's just two endings. And then is the longest one. Alright, so we almost halfway through the game. So that means I'm gonna leave the episode here because there's been quite long episodes right now, and I'm sorry, it's longer than movies, it's like Marvel movies now, but we have to get through this. So, like, comment, subscribe on YouTube and all that crap, and follow me on Twitch is better, you know it, for more reading. Course Party Book of Shadow. I'll see you next time. Bye!